it's so windy. Good morning and welcome back to my channel. I don't know what episode this is, I'll put it on the screen. And can't believe I got up and had porridge before work. It's made me a bit late. No, I won't be late, I'll just be cutting it fine. Anywho, and soon after my first client, I am going to train legs. So this is why I wanted to eat. So I was like, you in the gym floor? My client's a bit late, so that's okay. It means I'm not late, but it means I could have put a little bit of makeup on, which I like to do in the morning. It's Monday, and Monday is like a short day for me. I'm training in my first break, which means I won't like go home, plan to do it later, and then not ever like actually go to the gym. So I'm just going to train at work instead of going to a different gym. I've got a 2-hour window, I need to get changed ASAP. I know I take ages when I do legs, and actually my glutes are really, I wouldn't even say like muscular tight, they're like, feels like sciatica kind of. I've never really had sciatica, but I have had the whole like tight glutes, tightness down the legs, and weird feelings where like you get kind of shooting pains. I've had that before. It just feels, I've not done anything. I must have just sat funny on the train and in the car and stuff over the weekend. Yeah, my hips are not alright today, but I still want to squat, so I'm going to have to do a really good warm-up, which obviously takes time. And I want to shower and shave my legs. I want to shave my legs after that. Anyway, so yeah, I know a 2-hour window is a long time, but like with all the faff, it's not that long. Anyway, and I love having a long time to train. But if I don't train, be like, oh no, I'll take my time later on this afternoon, then I probably won't do it. So yeah, 7:09, starting at 7. Welcome to another workout and another voiceover. So as I said, I was super duper tight, so I started with a really good sort of slow stretchy warm-up. So my kind of lazy sun salutations are forward folds into a chaturanga and an up dog, and then into a downward dog. And I just do this a couple of times, pedaling through my feet in downward dog and just taking my time to warm up super slowly. I was thinking about doing some cardio, but to be honest, I didn't think that would necessarily help. And I hate cardio, essentially. But if you're trying to get a big hamstring stretch like I was, then you want to really try and tilt your tailbone away from your legs or away from your heels, so you get a two-way stretch. After I was done with my sun salutations, which I think I did 5 or 6 times, I went into my forward lunge to reverse lunge, or pendulum lunge if you want to call it that. Just going as big as possible, going pretty slow and working on my balance and getting my core activated and my glutes fired as I do this. I do 10 forwards, 10 in total on both sides, so 5 forwards, 5 back. The first working set of exercises is a tricep. I did 20 stiff leg / Romanian deadlifts. I like to put a slight bend in my knee so I can get more of a tilt back with my tailbone, and I feel this more in my glutes as well. Actually, I get a better stretch in my hamstrings as well, because I can just push further back. So I did 10 with one switch grip, and then I popped it down, switched my hands around and did another 10. So this is 40 kilos. This was feeling heavy by the end of the 20 because I went really, really slow. I actually really enjoyed this because it meant that I could focus on activating my core, keeping my shoulders down and back, and getting that stretch. So basically really good for your technique. So after you have done 20 of those, you move on to just a bodyweight curtsey lunge. So this was more to get a stretch to go fullest range possible, so I did 10 slow on each side. So full stretch, still focusing on contracting and squeezing it as I come in, but just focusing on a huge range. The final exercise, again, just for range and flexibility, is a Cossack squat. Not that these aren't actually really difficult as well, but you push your hips as far back as possible, bending one knee, so it's kind of like a static side lunge, but your aim is to get your bum all the way to the floor, which I can't do without my heels lifting. I just did 10, 5 each side. It is slow, even though it doesn't look it in this clip. I didn't take any rest in between sets, so as you can imagine, this was actually very difficult, and because I was going slow, it made it very intense as well. I think if you saw my video yesterday, it was sort of a Q&A with Ash, and he was saying that to build muscle, you don't actually need to lift a hell of a lot of weight, you just need to activate, stress the muscle, and have really good technique. So after this whole session, I felt like I'd had a really good stretch in a way, but I also felt like I'd really worked hard, and I think I'm going to be so achy from this in a good way, like good achy. But yeah, so on all of your movements, just go as slow as you bloody can. Focus on getting a full stretch and then a full contraction, and you'll feel wonderful by the end. No. So 3 sets in total, you've got 20 Romanian deadlifts, 10 curtsey lunges on each side. Make sure your body stays forwards as your leg goes to the side so that you can get that stretch. I found this was way tighter on my right hand side than my left, and I purposefully was trying to twist my body towards the direction I was going so that I don't know what I'm saying. Anyway, and then your Cossack squats, try and keep your heel down, and then that is it. The next set of exercises is also a tricep. I went for 10 single leg presses. I'm really trying to keep my hips as still as possible, my heel down and my knee in line with my middle toe, not my big toe, not letting it fall in, my middle toe. And the other thing that happens when I do these or when I squat is my arches fall a little bit, so I'm focusing on picking my arches up as much as possible. After I've done 10 on one side, I switch to the other. I'm trying to make sure that my hips aren't wiggling too much, as you can see. And then I'm going as low as I can, keeping my heel down. And I always think in the videos it looks like I lift my heel, but I promise I'm trying not to. So this is 80 kilos. This is my preferred leg press. But when I came to use it for a second time, like the physio had just gone on it. I was right next to it, and he just picked my towel up, threw it on the floor, and went, anyway, it really pissed me off. The second exercise is also 10 on each side, and it is a bodyweight Romanian deadlift or a warrior 3 like in yoga. But basically you're sticking your hips back and your weight in your heel and try and touch the floor with your opposite arm to the working leg. You can, if the floor is really far away, like if you're not quite that flexible, you can get a stretch some like sort of higher, what am I trying to say? Put a dumbbell or a kettlebell next to your foot instead, and then you can reach towards that. My balance was relatively okay to this depth. So yeah, go as far as you can, but try and use a focal point every time, and make sure you're feeling a stretch, and then working on your balance like this, as you know, will work all the stabilizers through the whole of your leg and into your hips, which basically your glutes, and these really burnt, especially after that single leg press. And then for some reason I decided to be really mean to myself and do kick sits. So these are so good for flexibility because you're twisting your hips and your legs away from your upper body. I found these, I had a good cardio response from these. So you want to push your weight into your hands, lift your hips, and then slide one leg under. And you have 10 on each side, or 20 in total. And yeah, my heart rate was definitely up by the end of this set. So independent of whether you are on the plate loaded leg press or the pin loaded leg press like I was for my second and third sets, your focus points are still exactly the same. Hips as square as possible, hip, knee ankle and middle toe in alignment, and then drive through your heel as much as you can. Try not to let anything twist or do anything strange, and if you need to, just go lighter so that you can be more stable. And then for your single leg RDLs, your technique in some ways is very similar. You want to put your weight into your heel, take your hips back, and try and keep your hips as square as possible, and don't let your knee fall inwards or your ankles roll in. And then for your kick sits, it is easier if you let one of your hands lift. You'll know which one I mean. But if you try and keep both hands flat, it's going to force you to do more rotation, and therefore the range of motion is going to be bigger, and you will get a better result in terms of flexibility, and it's actually just way harder on your body. It work good. So this is my last set, and I am lifting the hand because I was tired. But yeah, it's cheating, and I was at 90%, which is red on my heart rate monitor. I was thinking of doing pistol squats, but I really didn't think I was going to be able to hack it. So I did these kind of they're not really pistol squats, but it's a glute stretch on one side and then a mini squat on the other, and then I slide that leg behind. You can't really see it annoyingly from this angle, and get the stretch on both hips. And this was really bloody hard. It just looks a bit strange, to be honest, but it was really, really difficult. I did 10 in total on each side, and I only did 2 sets of these. Oh, and then I just went into like a twisting, stretch, and a hold. So sliding one leg behind me to open up my hips. This next mobility exercise I got from Hannah Bauer on YouTube. So it's like when you do the lying lower back twist stretch, but kind of the standing version. So you do 2 upper body twists, and then you do a small kick, and then you do 1 big kick. It just feels really bloody nice. So then I did the same kind of single leg stretch and squats with slightly less assistance. I tried not to hold on for the same time, up for the whole time like I did on the first set, and I could feel my glutes and hamstrings working a lot, but I felt like I was getting a good range again. I didn't feel like I was necessarily getting tighter. I don't know if that makes sense, but I'm hoping that I will feel or continue to feel really flexible. I don't want to be really, really tight because of doing lots of hypertrophy stuff. I want to make sure I'm always doing really, really full reps. I don't know what I'm trying to say. But anyway, after I finished these sort of twisting squats, I then went on to the foam roller and just really loosened out my glutes. So your glute muscle runs almost diagonally, if you kind of want to think it like that, and you want to put the foam roller perpendicular to the muscle fibers, which is why I've got it on an angle here. You want to do 6 to 10 rolls where you go over the whole glute. Find a point that you can feel and then have a wiggle. Then here I've laid myself down and taken it slightly higher onto my lower back, and then done the same thing. Find points that hurt and had a little bit of a wiggle on them. So same thing on the other side. The foam roller is on a diagonal. I'm doing sort of the big part of the glute by being upright, and then lying down and taking it slightly higher and more towards my lower back. Then I place it literally underneath my lower back and lift my legs up and kind of give myself a stretch and a massage in this position. I know it all looks really, really strange, but feels really, really nice, I promise. Have a play with the angle of your legs, angle of your bent knee, and play with where you're putting more weight. So if you feel like that knee that's bent, that hip lifts off, try pressing that hip back down towards the foam roller. You can do this on a softer foam roller. I'm probably going to have bruises, to be honest. So the blue foam ones are really good. They just give you some elevation and lengthen your lower back. But I like using the hard one. I kind of like it. If it hurts a little bit, I feel like that is a good thing. So from that I went into some twist stretches, so you can't see but my arm, oh you can see on this side, okay great. So you really want to reach the arm away from the leg, and then I did it slightly different, so both knees bent and trying to push the hip and the knee over as I reach the other hand away. Changing the position of your leg will change how you feel it in your glutes and even across your lower back and up into your shoulder. So have a play with different leg positions and find what works best for you. And if you have time, just do every single angle like I did. From there I went into a seated twist. You can do this with your other leg tucked in, or you can keep it straight like I did, and I was just rocking side to side trying to keep my hips square on the mat. And then I went into my favorite, or most people's favorite, which is a pigeon stretch. I tucked my back toe under because it was helping me keep my hip square and keep that other hip towards the floor. And other than that, that is it. I hope you enjoyed this workout.
Oh my gosh, I've not eaten since my porridge at 6:30 this morning. I'm so hungry. I finished work already. I had 2 cancellations, so I did 3 sessions instead of 5. And I've trained. Yay! And I'm so hungry. My pre-workout has made my belly funny. I do find when you eat unhealthy like I did all weekend, it just totally ruins everything in the digestive system. Sorry if that's too much information, but I'm excited for my stomach to feel good. Anyway, I have like a speed walked home. I'm halfway. I just had to like not go into a shop because I know that if I go into a shop, I'm gonna buy shit because I'm so hungry. But I've got a meal waiting for me at home, so yay. I'm home and I've put my Tupperware meal into a bowl, so it's slightly more, what's the word? Appetizing. But yeah, these sweet potato fries don't particularly microwave that well, but they taste so nice. They're the McCain sweet potato fries, and they're 3 for £5 from Iceland, so that's what we always order. We have a food order coming today at between 4 and 6. And then I'm going to do my food prep I've got a really long day tomorrow and I'm out for dinner tonight. I really need to choose something healthy. So, oh yeah. Right, I'm going to eat this and watch Hannah Oberg on YouTube. If you've watched a few of my videos, you'll know that I love sleep and I'm always tired. We went to bed at, I don't know, like gone midnight last night, and then our alarm went off at 5:30 this morning. When I have a nap, I cannot wake up. I always aim for a half an hour or an hour, and then it ends up being like 3 hours. So I've just fake tanned. I'm not going to bed. I'm going to do a face mask. This is from Primark and it's so good, and it doesn't leave my skin red. As you can tell, I have red skin, very red. And yeah, so I'm going to put a timer on my phone for like half an hour, close my eyes, and I won't be able to sleep with this on because I can't sleep on my back. I sleep on my side. Anyway, that's my like update, and then I'll do some work. I look terrifying. That wasn't very successful because I am starving. I've got a bit to eat. Oh my god. Hey, I'm in my pajamas. Thank God for meal prep, because I don't know what I'd eat if I hadn't meal prepped. Oh my god, there's laundry in the way. I can't get to the microwave. So this is a meal. It's just meal prepped chicken, broccoli and pasta. And done in this unicorn mug, I got coffee. The food shop came early. Yay! This is everything. There's quite a lot. So we have chopped tomatoes, mushrooms, 2 things of minced peppers, spinach and salad, 4 things of broccoli. It's our main veg when we eat healthy. This huge thing of chicken thighs, which is amazing, and some mince, 2 packs of pork sausages, 2 packs of eggs, and then I bought yogurt for the first time in ages because we've made homemade granola. I should have bought 2 of these, but I only bought 1 because I'm stupid. And then I've got thins and wrapped. Did not realise I wrapped for Weight Watchers. That was an accident. 3 things of frozen sweet potatoes. They are so useful. Ash
prefers sweet potato to pasta, so he has most of his meals sweet potato. I have most of my meals pasta, frozen fruit, frozen sweet corn, and then emergency pizza, because it's better to just have a cheap frozen one than to order one. One, to save money, and two, probably like a third of the calories. And this is everything. Yay! So I just filmed my voiceover for the workout I did today, and I don't think I explained very well how resistance training, or I know some of it was body weight, but how would that actually increase flexibility? So I had a little Google, because Google knows everything, and there are articles and studies done on flexibility. So one of the articles, there was a control group that did nothing, and there was a control group that did a 12-week flexibility program, and a group that did a 12-week strength training program, and they tested hip, hamstring and shoulder flexibility. In the hips and hamstrings, weight training was better than stretching, and in the shoulders it matched it, so that's really bloody good. And I'm on another article now, which is actually just about flexibility. Building work, sorry. And it just lists the types of stretching, and one of the types of stretching that PTs do with their clients is P&F stretching, which is where we go to a point where you feel a stretch, we get our client to contract and push against it, and then when they relax we can go a little bit further, because that muscle goes from this to this, and as they relax we stretch. And that is what it's like when you train. When you fully contract, it is much easier to relax afterwards. I hope that makes sense. Which is why that sometimes when you squat, you may notice that your second set feels lower than your first set, or just rep to rep you can push it a little lower every single time, not if you're going super heavy. But I hope that kind of makes a bit more sense. One of the reasons that you can get more flexible during a session, or feel like you're getting more flexible, is because that muscle has contracted and allowed itself to relax. You've kind of inhibited the stretch reflex. Oh my god, I think I made that worse. I might get Ash to try and explain that later as well, actually, because he is good with words and I am bleh. But anyway, I have edited a video and a half, so that's good news, and yay. And I might now shower and wash my fake tan off, and then I also need to food prep and do some washing up before I go out for dinner. What time is it? 4 o'clock. I was thinking of putting makeup on for once, so that takes time. I've gone weird. I think I'm thirsty because I keep wanting to eat, but I've now probably eaten enough. I don't know what I'm saying, boy.
I am ready and en route. I have kind of food prepped, done pasta and chicken, and annoyingly I'm really hungry, and I wanted to not be really hungry, so I made a sensible choice. But best made plans and all that shit, my plans never go to plan, to be fair. Yay!
I'm home from Pizza Express, and I did look at the salad options, but there was like a Caesar salad, a tuna nicquable, and then stuff filled with olives and tomatoes. Anyway, I got a pizza, and it was great. So, but we didn't get any starters or any desserts. I had a Diet Coke, and all I've eaten today is porridge, 2 meals of chicken, pasta and broccoli. One of them was sweet potato, that was a lie, and then a pizza. So, you know, that's okay. It's alright. And we're not out for dinner at all, and yeah, so I'm feeling good. I had a good session. My glutes, not my glutes, I can feel my hamstrings. I walked home and I could feel my hamstrings a lot. So I know I've done some work today. Now I'm going to take my makeup off, and you'll see me in my next video with 0 makeup on again, like a normal crappy red-skinned at work Helen. I'm sorry. But if you enjoyed this video or you liked that workout, please let me know by leaving a comment down below. And until next time, stay happy and healthy. Bye.